There it is. They haven't moved it. It's waiting to be a big pile of scrap. It's almost sad. Jody says I'm crazy. Jody also says I'm a hoarder. I don't know what she means by that. I never considered myself a hoarder. Hoarders are people, I always thought, that had so much crap that they couldn't walk to the house. That's only my garage. And my storage unit. And all my cars. Okay. So I might have a slight problem. But, I don't know. The guy I got the car from never in his whole entire life sold a car. When he was done with the car, okay, he would donate them. It was a process to get that car from him. Trust me. And at that time, the car had 43,000 miles, something to that effect on it. And it was a process. He was so nervous that he was going to sell it to me, and something was going to go wrong, and who knows what was going to happen next. I don't know if he thought lawsuits. I don't even know. And I assured him, and bear in mind, I knew who the guy was. And I assured him that if I pulled it out of his driveway and the seat fell through the floor, we'd be good. And after a bunch of talkings, I was at his house twice looking at it, and a couple of times on the phone calls, I finally convinced him to sell it to me. And what was sad was, I mean, that car would have went, who knows what they would have did to that car when you put these cars for donations. It's like, to me, I consider them scams, but because so little money goes to what you're donating, it's like comical. But sitting in front of it was a Corolla a year newer, and that one had roughly, I think, the same amount of miles on it. Okay, a year newer was a different body style, but it was a year newer, sitting there, and we were hoping that thing would come up. I was hoping, VW Rich was hoping, everybody was hoping. And then sitting in front of that one was the same body style as mine, but 4 years older, and he was actually junking it. He had pulled a bunch of parts off there, and he was trying to give them to me, like door handles and stuff like that. Then they had a newer Corolla at the time. I'm trying to think how old it would have been. I think it was like 5 years old at the time. Had like no miles on it at all. So what had happened was the guy bought the car. He actually worked right next to my storage unit. He was an executive, believe it or not, and he bought the car to commute across the island. And right after he bought the car, he had some health issues, and he couldn't work anymore. And that's why the car went so long and had no miles on it. Basically, they drove it to the doctor, and he stayed home. And then as time went on, they picked up the second car, and they never really used it. It just sat there. So for me, like I said, it filled the void in my life that I needed at that particular minute. I was cruising the Concord every single day for 4 years. So I needed something more of a daily driver, kind of. But just temporary. And then, like I said, I liked it so much, I held on to it. But yeah, no, to me it's sad because the car only requires one part. It needs a transmission, which you can just pick up a used one. And someone could have another 10, 15 years of probably maintenance-free life on that thing, other than like brakes and tires. For like, would you classify as a needy family? But unfortunately, there are so many vultures out there, you can't give to a needy family anymore. It's kind of like hard. You got to really like weed them out. Because whenever you try and do somebody a favor and give something to somebody, the vultures come out, they take it, and next thing you know, it's on Craigslist. So something that you could have got money for, now they got money for, and they have it doesn't bother them in the least that they did it to you. You know what I mean? When I classify as scum, but that's a different conversation. So, like I said, with that car's there. It's scrapped. It can't be put back on the road. And we call it done. So, with that, guys, we're taking a ride. We'll get some lunch. We're gonna go to the storage unit. I want to take the wagon possibly for a ride. I wanted to take that out last night to cruise night, but I just didn't want to deal with even wiping it off. And I have a package over here. And let's see if we can have a fun day. It's already 1 o'clock.